Alrighty, this is it, guys. We are live. This is You, Me, and BTC. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a while, guys. You all know, everyone out there who's stuck with us, you all know we've gone through all kinds of stuff lately, different show formats, different topics. But today, just for kicks, we're taking it straight back to OG Bitcoin. And we even have a Bitcoin, manager, CEO type guest, which is what we used to shoot for all the time back in the day. So it's OG YMB here today. I am Daniel Brown, and I'm here with
Tim Baker. We're back to our roots of listening to other people talk because I have no idea what's going on, and Dan doesn't want to explain it to me.
Yeah, I don't want to explain anything to Tim. Tim's back in another dungeon, but that's all right. That's where he belongs. And our special guest, Shane. I'll let you say your last name if you don't mind. We are with Shane, a fund manager from High Street Capital. Thanks for joining us, Shane.
Yeah, happy to be here. And it's Hvizdzak, like an athlete with asthma.
All right, got it. Hvizdzak. I'll remember that one. I'll remember it. So, yeah, I guess the easiest place to start is just tell us about yourself. Tell us what you do currently and maybe a bit of background, how you got there into crypto, stuff like that. Hit me.
Absolutely. I'll give a little brief overview. So I run a cryptocurrency hedge fund called High Street Capital. We actually just launched over the summer. I've been personally trading for about 3 years now. Wanted to build up my returns enough to have a track record to then start a fund. So I actually started in mining.
Okay.
So I still run a mining farm. Have about right around 400 GPU rigs, and so that kind of got me into the space. Prior to this, I ran a tech company. It was a learning platform called Helpified, and I actually got into a lot of the programming stuff, and I'm our head programmer as well as our trader.
Okay.
And I got into this creating algorithms for beating Vegas and sports gambling.
Okay.
So that's my original background.
All right. That's fun stuff. I'm a fan of sports gambling. I can't lie. But hey, I heard you said you have a GPU mining farm. Does that mean you're still working on the altcoins?
Yes. Yeah.
Any favorites?
Exclusively. We actually been mining Beam and Grin right now. I know Grin's going through a little bit of trouble, but those have been probably our most profitable consistently.
Okay.
I tend to be a little bit more speculative and go after brand new coins, jump on and help them out.
Nice.
Nice. Where we started. Yeah.
Okay. I should mention, this is not our official plug. We're going to get to more at the end of the show for everyone listening, but I do want to just give a quick shout out to eToro, our sponsor for this week. They do have 14 cryptos currently available to trade there, and we're going to show them off later in the show just to get that out of the way.
I was going to ask you why you're not mining Stellar and why you're not helping out that economy, because my whole virtual game plan depends on that coin.
Okay, we can do that. That's no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah,
just for virtual money. I'm not making anything real.
Yeah, we've got $100,000 virtual dollar. You start out with $100,000 virtual portfolio, and we're in competition with that. We've been going for about a month. Tim is deep into Stellar right now, so. Have you? So yeah, let's. I love it. Okay. Let's do this. You said you're a fund manager, and you've done day trading for yourself in the past. I'm curious. One of our old co-hosts, he was with us for like a year, and now he's dead to us. But he moved on to a crypto company, and he works with crypto data. And personally, not really for the company, but personally, he's gotten into day trading lately. So first thing we got to do is clarify for everyone listening out there, not an investment advice by any means. We're just having a chat, talking about what we've done in the past, what might have worked for us, what might not have worked for us. And none of that means it will or won't work in the future. So clarify all of that. No investment advice here. But I am curious how you approach it. What do you know about, day trading, especially cryptos? What do you think about when you go into that mindset, industry, day to day? What do you do? How's it all work for you?
Yeah, I can jump in. So I'm not necessarily a day trader. Most of our trades are run algorithmically.
Okay.
We're probably like 80-20 split between an algorithm or several algorithms and some manual trading, and that'd be more day trading. We've always based our strategy around quite a bit around sentiment. So crypto is a very sensational industry, I guess you could say.
Very
Meaning,
true.
People tend to panic. People tend to panic no matter what. Whether it's good, if it's good news, it's really good. If it's bad news, it's really bad. So it ends up being simple to trade on. So that's a big basis for a lot of our trades is positive and negative sentiment. We run it through large algorithms starting there, and then among several factors.
How do you gauge all that then? Do you pull in like actual news sites and measure from there, or what? Where does that come from?
Yeah, so we actually pull probably a couple hundred news sites. So originally when I had started this, we pulled in everything that we could find from every news site, every tweet, every Reddit post, anywhere that we could find. And what you end up finding is a lot of kind of BS around the web and reciprocation,
XRP
RSS feeds, things like that. Things that ended up not being as useful. So we sort of handpicked a lot of the actual news that comes through, and then we run it through an algorithm that actually gives it a quantitative score, and then that goes into our trading algorithm as to whether it's a real signal or not to base a trade.
That is crazy. I mean, there are countless people out there.
Wait, so how,
Go ahead, Tim. Fine.
Daniel's breaking up much on my end.
Okay, good. I was hoping that wasn't just me.
No, I was going to ask because, Daniel again might understand this more, but when you're saying what is your kind of your standard for what is just if it's being repeated or too many people are coming up with the same thing, and it's when is that legitimate? When is that not? I get what you're saying where it is crypto and any kind of small market is going to be kind of liable to panic stuff. But how do you, because that's why I've never been able to really get out of the idea of I'm just going to lose all my money doing any of this. How do you guys decide what to substantiate and what to kind of just go, well, that's just talk or whatever?
Yeah, so I guess even stepping back, when I say we filter out certain news, it's not even necessarily about filtering good and bad. It's just filtering repetition, right? So what you end up, and I'll elaborate. So what you end up finding is you might have one news post on a larger, more reputable source, let's say, and then it gets RSS fed to 100 other sources. So when we see things like that, and it can go both ways. It can go up the chain or down the chain from some local small blog that gets picked up by a larger source, or vice versa. When we see something like that, and there's just repetition, then more than anything, it ends up making things a little bit more difficult because you think that there's more volume than what there really is in terms of a news story. So that's really what we try to filter out is you could name 1,000 blogs or 100,000 blogs that are just picking up RSS feeds and then repeating them in some way. When it comes to the news itself, news is news. You guys know how this works. It doesn't have to be true. It doesn't have to be right. But that's a tough thing to say. This day and age, but it's reality. Any news affects the market. So if you have enough followers, if you have enough, that comes on Twitter, that comes on Discord, Telegram, any community, or just a regular news source. If you have enough followers, you can post any news and there's going to be some sort of reaction. So we take all of that into account. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
We've learned to not follow the truth. We've learned to just follow the news.
Follow could you say follow the general consensus? Like,
Yeah.
because as many people, as long as they believe that this, then it is true or whatever. There's has to be sayings about that, but I don't know any. I didn't pay attention to that though.
So I'm
what were you
curious. I'm curious. I mean, I guess I'm curious how original you feel, or how new or technologically advanced you feel that this effort is, because there are clearly, you know, countless people out there who will analyze charts all day, every day. Oh, down 5%, up 2%, buy here, sell here, you know, MACD, 200 DMA, yada, yada, yada. So but none of them, I'm sure some have, but I you know, it's definitely not common for everyone to say, oh, we just scrape this news information and feed it through, you know, machine learning, and out comes our decision. So I don't know, how novel do you feel? Have I just not heard about those people? Are you really the first? How's that going down?
I don't know that we're unique. I think a lot of people read the news and understand that news affects, you know, any traditional market as well as crypto. We do read the charts. We do technical analysis. Sentiment analysis is only part of our algorithm. It's certainly part of the basis. Usually we look at, you know, several forms of triggers, whether it's sentiment analysis, whether it's price action on those charts, whether it's, you know, any community involvement, you know, volume in a community, lack of volume in a community, GitHub posts, get changes in GitHub, you name it, we're probably looking at it. So that's sort of our background is data analysis. So what we try to do is have, you know, kind of at least a 360-degree angle, or I guess understanding of what things look like when it comes to placing a trade. You know, we don't do this necessarily like 200 trades a day or something like that. We're not a high frequency fund. We're really looking at how certain variables affect certain coins. And so, you know, even though we say sentiment may have a huge effect on, you know, I don't know, Litecoin, let's say, but it might not have an effect on Ethereum or some other coin. So we take every coin individually and place those variables. You know, and I guess even when it comes to trading technicals, this isn't an efficient space. Just understanding that the lack of regulation, so you can't really rely on those charts to be incredibly accurate every time. I mean, certainly chart trading is definitely important. It works. But it's not the full picture. So that's you know, originally why I even got into mining and then trading. I wanted to look at it, sort of the entire picture of what's going on from inception of a coin to first exchange to liquidity to next exchange, and then to, you know, somewhat of a, you know, more of a public facing coin.
Okay. So you said earlier that
so it's never to look at the full picture. Got
it. You said earlier that 80% of your trades were probably algorithmic, and I'm curious, within that 80% or within that algorithm,
I'm losing you again.
Gosh. All right. Well, any luck now?
I heard percentage out and something. Yeah. No. This is why. This is why it's nice for me. I come and I stay in people's houses. I get to steal their nice internet, apparently.
Yeah, this is
Daniel.
great.
All right, again, because this is bad, because Daniel is definitely going to be the one who's going to be able to ask the better questions to you, because I'm just like, no, I'm good. I don't need to do any of this stuff. So, well, how long ago, when we first started, how long ago did you get involved with everything?
So I actually started in like crypto education, which sounds strange. Back in like 2011, kind of when Bitcoin started to become at least slightly mainstream. I remember actually having an old miner set up on one of my old MacBooks and never actually doing anything with it, and just, you know, kicking myself because, you know, I'd have gold teeth right now, and I would be, you know, not. Yeah, I really started trading in 2017. So that was, you know, probably when a lot of traders came on, had some success. And I started mining around a little bit before that.
What was the price around then?
Actually, BTC was rising when we got in. I think it was probably around 10K, maybe something like that.
Okay, because I always forget because I haven't traded it, but I've been aware of it since. Like, I always forget the date, but back when it was like $5 and stuff like that. You said crypto education, right? Or
yes.
Bitcoin? You said like a class on it? Or what do you mean by that?
I used to run a company called Helpified, and what that was, originally it was a public-facing learning platform. So it was similar to Pinterest, but it was for learning resources. So what we did was basically give instructionals on how to mine, how to get into trading, things like that. But we, unfortunately, we weren't actually doing it then. We were just, educating. Kicking ourselves now, of course, but it wasn't too late to get in. So I didn't start trading until, like I said, 2017.
So I'll take another stab here. Any luck?
Dan, are you back at all?
I don't know. I guess not.
Dan?
Another static something.
It's that bad Arizona internet.
Yeah. No, yeah, so, all right, I'll ask you this question just while Daniel's still messed up. How creepy is his company? No, I don't want to say that. No. Now Daniel's old house a couple times out there, and I normally just take his car. So then I've gone and like played pool with them at that place. And I know a few of the people there, but
is it any better now?
Yeah,
there you go.
All right, I guess
that's your workplace.
This is the first. I know. Oh, I could hear you all great the whole time. I don't know why. This is the first time we've tried our new Twitch setup with multiple people on the Hangout. Normally it's just me and Tim, so maybe I just got too many video streams going in and out of my computer, but we'll let it ride, see how it goes. Cool. So my question from a few minutes ago that I thought I was curious about is within that, you said something like 80% algorithmic, 80% of your trades were algorithmic. I'm curious, within that 80% or within those algorithms, what percent is, I don't know, is it all machine learning, or do you feed in your own, data, your own sentiment into this algorithm? What's that? How's that look?
I would say it's mostly machine learning, to be honest, and natural language processing. What we're doing is not necessarily, if we're doing any tweaking, any changes, any improvements, it's to the code itself, not necessarily to the trades. But that's why we do reserve that 20%. That's sort of a floating number.
Okay.
Meaning, if we find something that falls outside of like the constraints of our algorithm, let's say, it's certainly a manual trade. And things do.
What's that coding look like? Are you using like a Google, a GCP language processing, or Amazon, or are you writing that yourself?
Yeah, we actually we use a proprietary coding language called Flow. It's a partnership I've had for a little bit of time now, and it was created by some developers around the Philadelphia area that have come on to join our company, and it's been amazing.
Wow.
We actually run a lot of our data analysis through Google's BigQuery, and IBM Watson is for the most part. But I actually originally started with just a simple Python script.
Yeah.
So pulling data down, analyzing it, and at least trying to give it a score. So things started very, very rudimentary, and it's just kind of blossomed from there. We're sitting on probably a 60 terabyte database of this information.
How do you train it? You have a team of people that just go through and tag all the sentiments?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, so have you ever looked into IBM Watson? It actually does a very good job of sort of processing that natural language, I guess you could say, and understanding, like taking an article, let's say, and going through keywords, key phrases, how people react to it, and then giving it a real score. So we lean on that a decent amount, and then we'll go in and manually code where we see differences or mistakes or discrepancies, and that certainly happens. But I think IBM Watson is it's finally found its purpose.
What are the possible outputs from Watson then? Like is like positive and negative, are those the only outputs you can get from a given chunk of text, or what are they already, I guess I'm asking, what are they already trained for?
Yeah, so it's a series of emotions, actually. So it's actually they have a whole set of emotional analysis. So what we end up getting is a score from 1 to 10 of, and we could really set it at any interval. At some point, there's it doesn't make that much of a difference,
right,
because we're pulling it into
diminishing
a larger
returns.
yes, exactly. So we're looking at emotions like joy, fear, anger, confusion. So all of that is coming through. It's based quite a bit around like keywords and key phrases. They pick up on different things, and then we'll train it to understand better.
Okay. What about, so have you ever mapped that to historical sentiment? So have you ever pulled in historical articles and mapped that to historical price chart to figure out which sentiment it indicates up?
Yeah, we have. So we've pulled. I mean, so it's our historical analysis of news is only so good because sources come and go, and you might have had something back in like 2015 that was amazing that just isn't around anymore, or even something in 2017 that didn't make it through crypto winter, let's say. Right. But we will go back and look at historical sentiment and then trace it back and pull it, do the analysis with prices.
Wow, that's fun stuff. Go ahead, Tim.
Oh, I thought he was breaking up for a second. Is there enough of like the information returned to you that you can kind of see? Like, are there certain websites saying like Twitter versus Facebook versus Reddit that you can see clearly one is more dominant or is more easily sways stuff?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, so the stuff's relatively easy to find when it comes to like even looking at volume of volume of followers, things like that. So Twitter seems to be a little bit better when it comes to that. I mean, so you could look like more granularly at certain communities on Telegram or certain communities on Discord even. But in terms of a standard, it's probably Twitter, just because
it's just so widespread, and I imagine there's a little bit. I don't have any good thoughts on it as far as like this means that would mean a lot more selling stuff.
Well, maybe think of it this way: is any influencer is going to have some outlet on Twitter for the most part. It's not always the case, but that's how they're driving traffic back to their communities, things like that. So they're at least posting something on there, whether it's, I mean, you get just a bunch of junk mainly on crypto Twitter. If you want trading advice, the best trading advice I can give you is counter trade everybody on crypto Twitter. But that's quite an easy standard to follow. But what ends up happening is they're doing a lot of their marketing on Twitter, things like that, and we can pick up on who those influencers are and even go deeper into who's following the followers of the influencers and so on. So we can create a decent web to understand what's going on there, where they're coming from, what time they're trading, things like that. I mean, we don't know everything, but it's an easy way to gather data.
That's intense. How big is your team? How many people are working on, even just consuming Twitter would be a huge job, let alone consuming other social media and then news sites and then analyzing it and then trading.
You're asking something really important, and
his questions are always, no, it's not working. His questions are always so much longer than mine, except mine have like 5-minute pauses in between them. The information that I don't like how valuable is just that information in of itself? Like, well, I guess
extremely valuable.
That's exactly what you're using, but even just like what time people are trading. I don't know. It always kind of messes with my head, talking about just like the data collection. You can see with Daniel, he's like, well, do you do it this way? And you're like, yeah, we have done that. I'm just saying, so you collect data on things, right? So who does the
we're just a bunch of nerds trading, trading crypto. That's really all it is.
No, I'm like, I should be able to do this. I'm smart enough.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
No,
it's just one of those things. So it's maybe even a simpler way to put it is it really isn't that big of a space. I mean, the entire crypto market cap is smaller than Apple. So when you have something that small, and it's even more evident if you go down market into smaller market cap coins, there are things that are just going to influence that price more. And all that really takes is one really good news article or one really bad news article, and people are running to trade. So, and when that's the case and the volume isn't there, then even an increase or a decrease in trading volume of 2 BTC or 4 BTC or 10 BTC is significant. It's going to change price.
Am I coming through any better now?
You are. Yeah.
All right, I'll take another stab. It's a learning experience, but luckily I can still hear you guys pretty well, so it's still getting down on the recording and getting on the stream and all that, so that's fine. But I was curious how big your engineering team is, because I'm a developer myself, and I know how big a job it might be to just consume Twitter or a few Twitter accounts and just grab those and save them or something. And then, you got to consume Facebook and consume other news websites directly and RSS. That's a big job. And then you got to analyze it all and feed it into all these algorithms and then start making decisions. So I'm just curious what sort of manpower you got behind all this.
We actually have a 6-person development team.
Okay.
We're relatively small, but we have a couple just amazing developers behind us that we are lucky enough to acquire, and so they carry a lot of the load.
Nice.
as well as our platform. It's a platform that had been worked on for probably 7 years prior to us really being involved and moving it to this crypto focus. So it's a big engine. It's definitely a whole bunch of engineering, but we can do it with a relatively small team because of that. If we were hand coding all of this stuff, it would take a team of probably 50 people to manage a lot of this.
Nice.
So it's a huge job.
Is it what's plans? What are the plans for expanding that then? If it's just an engine, I'm assuming you have plans beyond crypto.
Yeah, absolutely. We use it in, like I said, I haven't quit gambling. So,
all right.
so there's a lot of uses. So our highest ROI is, of course, in crypto, just maintaining the focus there, continuing to make it better, pulling in more information and so on. So there's a big job ahead just for that. But it certainly can be used for, any type of business automation, anything like that. I haven't explored those avenues with it just because it's like I said, a better ROI just to do this. But we certainly use it for gambling.
Well, so hey, what sort of data points do you look at there? Is it still just sentiment? Is it, I don't know, do you pull in every single thing from, quarterback's height to the running back's third cousin? What all do you pull in for that?
Yeah, I wish I had the information on the third cousins. That would definitely be a factor. So it really depends on the sport. But it's a lot of matchups. It's referees. It's weather. It's anything from let's take basketball for instance. If they're coming off of like a 3-game road trip or a 4-game road trip and they've had 3 or 4 games in 5 or 6 days, there's going to be an effect on the way they play if they come back home and they've whether they've lost all of them or they've won all of them. All of that's taken into account. So it actually is. It's really not a whole lot different in terms of the size of the database.
Yeah.
But you can. It really depends on how deep you want to go into gambling. But you can really look at some generally simple factors. Like college sports are a great example. So if you're looking at so take college football for instance. What do you know more about Alabama or Alcorn State? So and Vegas is exactly the same way. So there's just less public information about some of these smaller schools. Some of the like FBS type of schools. So that's where we try to take an advantage. Wherever we can find sort of like a niche information advantage, that's usually where we're looking. Same thing in basketball, small conferences. Vegas is not as accurate when it comes to that. Vegas is scary accurate, but they can be beaten at kind of lower information games.
You do UFC too?
I do, yeah.
Cowboy or Gaith G?
I don't know. I would say Gaith G.
All right.
So if you're trying, like you made the example about the smaller schools, does that mean you kind of try to stray into more obscure sports too? Or,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've made a lot of money in WNBA. I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, wait. So clarify for me, is it better or worse when there's limited information? Because I would imagine there are certain scenarios where if there is limited information, then the line might be way off from where it should be, and you could sneak in a pretty valuable bet. Is that, you try to pull those off, I'm assuming?
Exactly right, yeah. Even more so when it comes to like in-game factors. So if you're doing anything that involves live betting or like second half betting, things like that, that's really where you can have an advantage. Depending on, you can kind of look back and see how teams reacted if they're the favorite by 6, but they have to be down by 10 at half. How they typically reacted in the past. Are they home? They have a mean coach. I mean, you can really get very granular.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds like fun stuff. Sounds really fun. I've never, I do a ton of spreadsheets. I'm also a poker player, but I guess what I'm saying is
breaking up a little bit. I think I know what he's talking about. He's talking about playing poker. I was going to ask you anyway, do you get into other kinds of gambling, or are you mostly a sports betting guy?
I used to be into poker. I have a bad poker face, so I am not. I cannot say that I'm a great poker player.
Okay.
But we used to before they changed some of a little bit of the security around poker rooms. We could actually get into any of the poker rooms and look at the entire history of every poker player at the table, and so there was a little bit of that going on, but things have changed a little bit. We don't tend to do any of the I love going to the casino, but I don't win there.
Yeah, nobody does.
Yeah.
Everyone's go there. I'm like, it's just to lose. There's no way this ends up good.
It's just
$200 there.
Night.
So where are you from? Where you live?
I was gonna say I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
I think he said where do you go?
No, where do you live?
I wasn't sure. You're still back.
Yeah. So I actually live in Pennsylvania. So we have a couple Indian reservation casinos around here. I do a little bit of time. I mean, I travel constantly for work and for the fund. So I'm not here as much as I'd like to be. I try not to be here when it's too cold, but I live in Pennsylvania. So we have a couple good casinos here. Sports gambling is legal here. So that was a big celebration last May.
So what?
I forgot.
But yeah, we have options.
I think you must have told me. I think it must have come up when we met in person, and I forgot. But where in PA?
No.
Wait, what did he say? I didn't. You're breaking up again.
It's not. It's like most of the words are coming through, but it just sounds like you're mumbling, and then I have a dog making noise in the room.
I was just going for where in PA.
Really great when we get into the meat of a great question.
Gambling. Is he trying to talk?
I think he was. But yeah, I don't find an advantage at casinos. I love to go. I'm still, even after all of this and some success, I still go for the free drinks. But that's about it. I wish I could say I was a better poker player than I am, but I'm just not. I tend to stick to the higher probability games, which is gambling. But I love to play.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not huge into sports anymore. I used to be whenever I was younger, but I do know if I have money on a game, it's definitely where I care the most. the UFC fights. Well, Daniel needs to come back so I can yell at this dog.
I'm here. I just know I don't know if you guys can hear me.
I like it just the sports betting just because it give me. What'd you say?
I don't know. Is that any better?
He's almost back.
I don't even know what he's doing. I mean, kind of barely. I did like. I'm trying to think of. I keep thinking of questions. I'm like, that's just dumb. But when you were younger, did you guys like did you play for I don't know like friends or stuff like that? Like, did you for like quarters? I did that in school, and then people told me it was going to lead me to be homeless because I was playing quarters for Texas Hold'em. It probably wasn't played with the right rules. I was learning them. Actually, probably the best betting I've done in my life. Most of the time, I played a tournament with Daniel in the casino in Pittsburgh, and I lost within like 20 minutes. I was out, and I just wandered around. That's been most of my time at the casino has just been wandering around.
So we play at the same casino?
No, actually, I live in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry.
Okay. So we are very close then. I did not realize that.
I thought you said Philadelphia before. That's what I was going. I had it in my mind. You said Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm actually a couple hours north of Pittsburgh, and I spend all kinds of time in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, like I live on the outskirts, and then right now I'm pretty much right outside the city where I'm staying. But yeah, I mean, most of the times I've gone down the rivers. I play for a little bit. I lose all my money, and I wander around. I look at all the old people with the lanyards that they plug into the slot machine.
I always think that's the scary part of casinos is you look out into the slot machines and know that very few of those people can actually afford to be there, and it's and everybody looks the same. But
they don't look happy. They don't look sad. They're kind of say it's going to win next time.
Yeah, they're just focused, and they go there a few times a week, and I don't know. I mean, it's I guess it's a good hobby if you're winning and losing and you're breaking even. It's just
I'm a dog walker, dog sitter, so I'm all around. And there's a hotel that some guy keeps down in downtown, and there's a shuttle that goes from there. And I always see people coming down to the front desk because I have to talk to them to get a key. And they're always, when's the shuttle leave? We need to get to the casino. We need to get to the casino. Yeah, and it's just like a couple on vacation or something like that. They're doing like a weekend. They both have Red Bulls. We're going to go then we're just going to drink, and then we're just going to play all these games. We're going to win so much money. I heard a laugh. The laugh was clear.
Yeah. Am I any better? That was.
No, you're good.
The last thing I was trying to ask was actually where in PA, but now it all came out. So there we go.
Yes, so I live in Bradford, Pennsylvania. So it's actually right on the New York border.
One of my buddies went to Pitt Bradford.
Yeah, I was a professor there. But it was I spent a lot of time in Pittsburgh. My brother used to have an apartment, right across the river in South Side. So he went to Duquesne Law. So
the other thing I was maybe like longer ago I got cut off again or whatever. I was just gonna say that all that sports gambling like data stuff is like the type of stuff I fantasize about. Like I'm watching a football game and I have my like two like $5 bets and I'm like, if only I could track all of this stuff in a giant spreadsheet and actually win something.
We can make it a reality. That's exactly what we do. I sit next to a dashboard the entire day on Sunday.
Yeah. It's like I'm watching all these live bets. Like, well, I think I'm positive, but it's only because of the bonus. But, do you think baldness plays a factor in this fight?
It definitely does. Right off.
It is interesting. I think it comes like I played basketball in college. I played basketball at St. Bonaventure, which was an 8 Atlantic 10 school. We play Duquesne every year. If familiar.
Nice.
So a lot of that was again kind of looking at the lines. Even when I was playing and saying, okay, Vegas is totally wrong. So that was where a lot of that was born.
Okay.
And it's like it's my way of being competitive now that I'm old and fat and can't play anymore. So it's
Yeah, might as well make money too.
feels like I'm part of the game. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. This is great. We have way more in common than I ever would have guessed. So thanks for joining us, Shane.
I'm happy to be here. I love it.
Yeah, that was awesome. We'll go ahead and wrap up the first segment. We'll let you go before we just show off some eToro and then wrap it up. But hey, thanks so much for being here. We'll be in touch if you ever want to come back or anything. It'd be a blast. And,
yeah, I'd love to. We can do a dedicated segment one of these days on gambling.
Sure, I am completely on board.
Taught me to be like, here, I figured out. Also, no, I'm mostly interested with the football. You can actually figure out who the shitty refs are.
Yeah, no, refs play an incredible role. I mean, in basketball, probably more than anything. But football, they control penalties, they control the flow of the game. It's a really big deal.
Dang. So hey, last thing I guess before we split. Anything you got to tell people, a Twitter handle, a website, anywhere people should be keeping up with you, finding out more about you and what you do?
Yeah, so I am actually I'm very easy to find on Google anywhere because I have a funny last name and nobody has my name. So it's just my full name.
Perfect.
On every profile, so
cool.
Twitter, anywhere else.
All right, we'll make sure it hits the show notes for this episode if anyone's looking for what that name is, and you can copy and paste it.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. I'd love to come back.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we'll make sure we learn more about Twitch and streaming and all that too. So,
thanks.
Peace out,
guys.
Bye.
Have a good one.
See ya.
All righty, that was fun. Like I said, way more in common than I ever would have thought, but cool. So, Tim, time for the reckoning of our portfolios, and we'll wrap it up here. I did not actually prepare for this, so let's see how quickly I can pull up the website and make sure I'm logged in. And
I'm going to need to figure out a way to do this too. Shut up! He's not a good guy.
Oh, this is fun. Let's see here. Unfortunately, it did log me out. So
it logged you out. I was going to say, will PETA get mad at me if I throw a bottle of mustard at a dog? Probably. Oh, well, maybe while you log this in, actually around where my parents live in Stowe, PETA showed up because there were just some dudes knocking down a building, and then raccoons started running out, and they started hitting. Like, my mom said they didn't squish the raccoons; they were just like knocking them out with a front loader. And PETA showed up and revived a raccoon with CPR. I was like, "What? There's no way this is real." And apparently, one of the neighbors saw it. I'm not sure though.
Oh,
I feel like I should have seen it in the mail, but it's just PETA taking on like Pittsburgh union workers. What are you doing? They're just raccoons. Fuck
Tim,
off.
We can't afford to be losing more raccoons on this precious planet.
Well, yes, you are true. They are the wonderful dumpster dogs that just bring joy. Haven't you ever seen any movies where they show that raccoons are really just misunderstood? And
that's what I'm saying.
They're not just there to just eat. I'm talking to the audience here, Daniel. I'm supporting. They're actually really super cute and super smart, and the reason why they eat trash is because they choose to and not because they have to. Exactly.
Well, I don't know how good a raccoon would be at virtual trading, but let me drag down this window and see where we stand.
Raccoons would probably destroy the crypto market if they had fingers.
So, guys, this is youmeandbtc.com/trade. That's how you can get here to eToro. We thank them a ton for sponsoring us. I'm still sitting pretty at about break even. I have allocated more than half of my portfolio down here, 57 out of 100K. So I am getting in deep here. Prices are up. Actually, up on the day, down on the week. Zcash is near the very bottom of its 52-week range. You know what that means? Time to buy some Zcash. Yeah, it is. Obviously, guys, this is not even remotely investment advice. Please do not take it as investment advice. We're just showing you what we do, how we do, what we like, showing off this platform. And yeah, I have got a lot of Zcash positions open, and they are all negative. So yeah, let's keep on, double down or lose out. You know what they say.
Is that what they say? Is that old crypto trader motto?
So I did close a bunch of positions. Let me see, maybe like Litecoin. Let me see, I can just go into all my history here. I closed a ton of Litecoin because they had gone up over the past few days. I closed a bit of Dash here. Let me sort by close time. Oh, I guess I can't sort here. Let me go back to the watch list. I just want to see Litecoin spike here on like a 1 week chart. Or 1 month chart. So yeah, right around here, it was definitely up. And that's when I tried to sell. In the past about 3 or 4 days ago. So up in this range here. All right, Tim, what's your total virtual equity at, RN?
Here, let me make sure I can screen share.
Ethereum Classic is down 8% on the month. That's a buy. That's a buy for sure.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can screen share. At least it's not giving me the option to.
Maybe it's a Chromebook quirk?
Yeah.
Or wait, do you always use your Chromebook, or is that just when you're traveling?
Nah, this is just when I'm traveling because it's easier than lugging around the gaming thing. Oh, I see your question now. This would be helpful if I was looking at the... just ask. Well, I end up. Yeah, I was like,
you did good, Tim. You did good, Tim. Now you know how I feel.
I did. Me and Josh are super good buddies.
It takes a lot of work to carry an episode in the first place, let alone an interview.
What?
I had a friend recently ask me. He told me he wanted to listen to one of our episodes. And so I picked one somewhere a little over 100. I don't know the number, 120, 130-ish. I was like, okay, 2 years in, we had to have had it figured out by then. Like, this has to be a tolerable episode. Even 2 years in, I told him about it, and then a week went by, and I was like, I probably should have listened to that to see if it was a good one. Holy cow, we still sounded like we were asleep, even 2 years in. All that to say, for a few weeks now, or months, I've brought up on a couple shows on our network how life is all about the grind. If you want to get good at something, you have to grind. And that's just another data point there. 2 years into this show, and we still sounded like we were asleep. There you have it.
So we've gotten rid of all of our dead weight. It's just my idiocy paired with your understanding things, and then the dumb people who listen to us get to feel not as dumb while I'm here. I make sure everybody feels smart while they watch this.
So yeah, Tim, just hit me with the number, I guess.
Yeah.
What's your virtual equity sitting at right now?
When Daniel tells me to shut up. My virtual equity right now is 97,297.
This is a close match. I'm only ahead by like 1 or 2,000. Very close match. You've been
having me pick your picks for the last.
Yeah, I'll give you 1,000 today. What am I going for, Tim?
Well, I just bought some more Stellar. I copied you, bought some Zcash, and I think I'm going to buy some more Litecoin. Or no, I'll buy some more Bitcoin probably.
Yeah, Bitcoin's always a good buy. It is down a bit. It hovered around 10.6 for a while, and I'm showing about 10.3 now. So
I'll take back on that. Let me look at my watch list real quick to see if I'm definitely not going to understand what any of it means. But what's ADA? Cardano. Cardano looks like it's flatlining. Cardano. I might. Yeah, well, at least I'm going to buy some of ADA. Either that or put some more into... either go Bitcoin or Litecoin. Bcash is fucking dead.
Is that what you're telling me to buy?
Yeah.
What were my options again?
Bitcoin or Litecoin.
You're telling me to buy good stuff this week? All right.
Yeah, a little bit nice. I feel like we had a good episode. I felt like Josh is going to connect with me and make me all kinds of money in the Pittsburgh Underground Roller Derby circuit.
Okay, nice.
Shut up. It was supposed to be hilarious. See, Daniel doesn't get my humor.
I don't get anything about this roller dirt. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. It's just talking at this point, trying to make up for the fact that for some reason I can't share my screen.
So
Chromebook hates me.
I'm looking at my. I closed all my Litecoin at between like 69.50 and 71.50, and currently Litecoin is sitting at. Oh, geez, wait, that's average open. What's the? Oh, right there. Oh, it's down. So yeah. Litecoin is lower than all those closures I did, which means, yeah, great time to buy. You sold, like I said, a few days ago, I sold Litecoin, and now it's down again. Perfect. This is, so here's my 1,000 for Tim going on Litecoin. There you go, guys. This is eToro. You can find them at youmeandbtc.com/trade. We would love it if you would go through that link so they know you found them through us. And that would be supportive, and we would love it. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us and Shane. We'll be back next week. We'll work on Twitch, learn how it goes, and always be iterating, getting better, because apparently 2-year mark we were still asleep. Now we're I don't know. We're at like 5 years of podcasting, but only at about like 2 months of Twitch, maybe 3. So we're definitely still learning here. Plus, even this Hangout is different because Google nixed the regular Hangout, so we're learning that now. Always be learning new stuff. Always be grinding. Ooh, I like that. I might make that a catchphrase. Always be grind. Oh, I like that.
Walk into your office in the morning. I know.
Everybody, are you grinding? Are you grinding? Are you grinding?
Can you grind?
Okay.
Thank you guys. Let us know if you liked. I mean, I'd like to talk about gambling more. Definitely, even if Josh doesn't come back, I would definitely like to talk about. If you like that, let us know. We could start trying to steal Twitch gamblers. I don't know what that is. Maybe. I mean, I should ask them about video, like doing stuff on Twitch and doing like video game bettings.
Oh, yeah. I bet those are.
Think about that.
I'm sure those exist, but I'm sure they're very, very, very young markets, which can mean profitable markets. Who knows? Yeah.
It's like it takes into account people's paying and everything. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Yeah. But nice. Yeah, thank you.
I have been with this e-game. I started trading, not trading. Like I bought a few stocks a few months back, and I've been extremely interested in the gaming stocks, like Activision, Blizzard, or the graphics card stocks like Nvidia or AMD. And I could see, because I do believe in those. I do think they could take off, and I could see the same thing, same kind of situation when it comes to esports gambling. So, again, not investment advice by any stretch of the imagination.
No. Look at what I'm wearing. Look at the camera behind me. Does this look like a man who has it all?
All right, guys. Good night. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for bearing with the hit or miss audio, but luckily nothing totally cut out in there. We always had something going. It was just a little choppy here or there. So peace out. We love you. Thanks, eToro. You, me, and BTC.com/trade. Goodbye.